What's up guys, it's Brandon Childs, and today we're going over an exercise called the Hamstring Bridge Curl. Now, like the name implies, this exercise is going to focus on your hamstring and glute engagement and teach you how to work those muscles together to make sure that you're not using your lower back. It's going to translate to any movement that you do regardless of your activity level, whether it be walking, sprinting, playing sports. No matter what you do, you always want to make sure that you're using your glutes and your hamstrings together to initiate most of these movements, because otherwise you're putting a lot of strain on your knees or your lower back, which can obviously lead to injury.
So for this one, you can either use a towel or a gym ball, and I'll kind of show you the variation between the two. But starting off on your back, if you're using the towel, you want to make sure that your arms stay relaxed behind you. You don't want them here by your side, because more than likely you're going to push down into your shoulders to help you lift your hips. So if you really want to focus on your hips, have your arms just resting up there. The next thing, you want to make sure that your pelvis is rotated up in the front. Your abs are engaged to take away your lower back when you do begin to lift your hips up. So maintain that position the entire time. The next part is make sure your feet are pointing up in the front. You don't want to turn your feet out like that, because then you're just overusing the outside of your hips and you're not going to get much ab engagement. So keep your toes pointed that way, because it also is also more fundamental or functional for the things that you're going to be doing in real life. Nothing you do is with your heels pointing out. So toes pointed up, feet about hip width apart. The first thing you want to do is lift your butt to the ceiling to really load your glutes and hamstrings. You don't want to just lift from the floor, because more than likely you are just going to be using your lower back to lift. So once you get in that position, lift your hips up first to load, and then slide your heels all the way in just like that. Lift your hips up as high as you can, and you should feel a really strong contraction in your hamstrings and glutes together. Keep them up the entire time. And then as you slide back, you want to keep your hips as high as you can, keeping that glute engagement all the way up, and then keep your hips up when your legs straighten out. Don't let yourself rest down to the ground, because then, you're more than likely going to use your lower back, and you don't want to have to reset every single time. So keep it up, pelvis up in the front, just like that. Sliding in, keeping the hips up, nice and straight. Now if you're using a gym ball, it's the exact same concept, except now your feet is just going to be a little bit higher. But with a gym ball, it also adds a little more dynamic stability to balance, because now you have to worry about going lateral as well, so it helps you, your obliques a little bit more. So when you're here, same concept, pelvis up in the front, abs are engaged, toes are pointing up, lift the hips, roll the ball straight back in, and then straight back out. As you go out, you'll feel the ball wanting to twist and turn to the side. You really have to work your abs a lot more to keep it nice and in the center.
Thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or requests, make sure you leave them in the comments so that I can continue to make content that will bring out your ultra instinct.